Good morning, people. It is Sunday. And I wish that my husband and I could go to church somewhere, but he is entirely too uncomfortable. It looks like it's warmed up to a whopping 30 degrees, so maybe we'll be able to go out at least walking. We at least go around the block. I'd like to go all the way to the park, but he plays that card, being a disabled veteran. Sometimes I'm not sure if he does this intentionally or not. He'll feel like he can just say anything and everything he wants to do. And I think sometimes he's just playing with people because they assume he's in a chair and he is disabled. But don't put him past him to play that card, and he's a bit more lucid than he will play like he is. He loves to wave at the dogs and the cats and exclude the owners that are with the animals. Just address the animal. I think he's actually just playing. He used to be in Mensa, and maybe he feels like that if you are in this predicament, if God has dealt you this hand, but occasionally he will, just say something completely outrageous. I'm pretty non-confrontational. I have some viewpoints, and some of you believe that I go down my rat hole of rants, but I'm pretty live and let live. I simply do not want to be bothered. But we have some pride flags out here, and I understand because he is disabled from serving in the military. He says, imagine putting who you bang up on a flag and it being somehow acceptable. I said, no, honey, I think it's got something to do with them uniting for the freedom to be able to openly express that. And I got to thinking, well, I don't really know in what scenario you would want to express if you had like regular sex. Maybe those those mud flaps with the girls' form on them, that the guys with trucks had on there. Is that a symbol of something? Truthfully, he'd probably get a little bit of criticism if he had like a big truck with those mud flaps with female forms on them. It's kind of the same thing, or not. I don't know. Like I said, it's live and let live. But if I dare push him to the park and he sees something like that, and then there's some people occasionally, as the weather gets warmer, there'll be people selling their recreational products. And, and Jim would ask them, what do you got? What are you selling? Well, can I have a sample of that? And I'm like, oh God, honey, please don't. There's cameras all over this place. I know you're in pain, and the VA would not approve. I guarantee it. But anyway, maybe he's got the right idea. Have fun with it. You'd be surprised. Young people who have accidentally stumbled upon my video by some fluke of nature. At what a young age people will start judging you by being old and thinking you can't hear. Because my husband is, I think, like 80% hearing disabled. But because I'm with him, I have had people do this. They'll get right up in my face and say, what do you want? Hey, you gotta call them on it. But they do it even if there's not a person with you that has a disability. People assume that you're not altogether with it, and it will start like right in your mid-50s. When they hear your age, they don't really know it. The people that are dumb enough to assume, they usually won't look at you and guess that. They will see it on paper and then start talking extra loud to you or extra slow. It is a little bit hurtful, but you got to consider it's really more on them than it's on you. But people do it to me a lot because I'm married to Jim. When they know that he is hearing impaired, and they see by the wheelchair nowadays. And people who pray, this is Sunday, do this for me, please pray that he will get the energy and ambition to get up and walk. again, I really miss having my husband as a person that I go on my walks with. I still do the walking every day, regardless, or almost every day. And I do have the treadmill at home, and it's a pretty good treadmill. It's kind of one of those ones that's the upward slant. So it gets your muscles used to working hard and feeling like you're walking uphill. Because I feel like I've got to keep my facilities completely as untarnished as possible, especially when he's kind of depending on me, even though I don't get any extra money for that. I probably should. But I kind of let it go, because whenever he'd get in front of a person to interview about me being the caregiver, paranoia is one of the symptoms that he has. He will tell them he doesn't need anybody, even if he does, number one, and they're very quick to take his word for it, even if they can spot the obvious. If he doesn't want somebody, it just isn't going to happen. But I am at least his caregiver as far as they're concerned, which isn't that kind of a double entendre of things that don't make sense? If I am in paperwork and everything else, the person who has to be with him, mandatory at his appointments, but they still will say, oh, he isn't technically needing anybody. Well, he is or he isn't. Actually, if we got that money, then it would really make my life a lot easier. But because of his paranoia, he will always say he does not need or want anybody. And that's on him. If he does not want me, then fine. We will leave it as such. But because I still have the title, I feel like I have to make sure that I feel okay, and that even if he and I aren't that much difference in age, I feel like I have to keep it together. And yeah, God knows, I've got a few things working against me, including my lifestyle, for a very long time. But we hope we got that behind us. Anyway, I would love to hear from other people. I go on these long rants, but I would love it if you would have dropped me an email or anything that if you are in Independence, like I said, I'm saying it again, somebody to walk with, somebody to go to thrift stores, or somebody to collab with. I am really not 100% comfortable being behind the screen here. I would like to have a lot of my videos that I wouldn't have to be part of it, but for the meantime, I guess I need to just get over it, because reaction videos get a lot of people. And if this were making a little extra money, the money that I'm not going to get for being my husband's caregiver, it's more important than you can think, because even if I've got a college degree and licensed insurance agent and all that, I'd have to figure a way to work from home. And people don't always really want to hire you when they know that the noise level is going to be unpredictable and that you're going to have to keep signing off, things like that. It's a little bit, I'm trying to balance everything. Plus, it doesn't help that I'm a crazy cat lady, because they keep bringing in all these stray cats, So I know some of this stuff, I bring it upon myself. But I always love hearing from people and meeting new people. Hey, I put on Bach, right? Because I learned that I read somewhere that if you accidentally have somebody else's video going in the background, you could get a strike on you for patent, and you're not having permission. I didn't get Bach's permission to put the music on there, but somehow I think I'm gonna be okay till you tell me otherwise. But anyway, I hope you're having a blessed Sunday, and always welcome hearing from people. And well, take care until tomorrow.